Well, this Living Upstate segment is a segment that I hope you pay real close attention to, okay? Steve Grant lost both of his children to drug overdoses, his oldest at 21 and his youngest 5 years later at 24. Now, 10 years later, he has written a book of hope and healing for families dealing with addiction. We have Steve here with us this morning to tell us all about his book called Don't Forget Me. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, Megan.
How hard was it to put your story into words, into writing?
It was difficult only because try to remember everything, or try to remember the moments that it would seem very important. I started it and I realized I wanted to figure out the why of the book. So I asked a friend named James Campbell to help me write it. And James did a great job. James is a addictionologist. He's 25 years experience with adolescent and young adult addiction. So he helped me, and we meet once a week, and we write some things down, and before you know it, you had a book. You had a book. Yeah. Did you intentionally wait 10 years, or was there a time, or was that just kind of? No, it just was a kind of, it just kind of felt like if it was going to happen. Everybody kept saying, hey, write a book, Steve, write a book. And I guess I wanted to do it a little earlier, except my wife got ill, and so I promised I'd wait a little while longer. Yeah. And that's when I started it. I can't imagine what it's like to lose a child and then to lose two children to the same thing. How does one even begin to cope with that, to understand it? I get that question a lot, and I've obviously have a lot of faith, and I know I'm going to see my boys again someday, and you know, that gets me through it. That gets me through it. And I like the writing. I like speaking to groups. It actually invigorates me that I know I'm trying to help somebody. Yeah. Thank God for faith, right? If you didn't have that, I mean, just knowing you'll see them and see them healthy, and that's what it's about. What advice would you want to give? Because we've done, you know, so many stories here on our news station about opioids or drug overdoses, and you know, these parents, I mean, they're heartbroken. So I want to speak a minute maybe to them, someone that may have lost a child, or someone that maybe their kids are going down a path. Sure. I get a lot of questions from parents, and I quickly tell them that I'm a parent, or I was a parent. And, you're always a parent. I'm always a parent. And then, but they do ask, well, how do you know? How do you know when your son or daughter is going down that road? And I tell them that, you know, you certainly want to be diligent, but there comes a point when you realize that drugs or alcohol are making decisions for them, and it's controlling their lives. Absolutely. And then as parents, we certainly have to be on the same page. We have to be consistent with how we attack that, and have to be on the same front. Yeah, that's a great, because you got to think sometimes it's not your kid that's, you know, his or her brain has kind of been poisoned. That's right. Almost. Yeah, drugs and alcohol rob you of your adolescence if you start early enough. Is there anything too, I mean, you kind of touched on it there, that you think that, you know, the general public doesn't understand about the addiction society or kind of the drug society? No, I think they just need to know it's out there. It's very prevalent. Not too many people, most people can figure out a way to find drugs in any community in a short period of time. And the children, younger ones, younger adolescents, even younger adults are very vulnerable to that. Yeah, and I think a lot of times parents don't want to talk about it because you know, want to look good in your community. You don't want, you know, them to think, oh, you know, you did something wrong or your kids. Yep. A lot of people, and that's very, you know, that's very honest. I never had that feeling. I never had any concern about what anybody thought of me. Good. Although people, that is a big concern. People do, you know, they are ashamed of it. They take it as they did something wrong as a parent. Yeah. See, that's why this book is going to help a lot of people. It's called Don't Forget Me. it is by Steve Grant. Where can people get this book? Well, it's in the major bookstores now as of last Tuesday. And M. Judson has it here locally. But you can also get it online in Amazon. Yeah. And so it's doing well, actually. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much. Sometimes things happen while we don't understand, but maybe you're going to help a whole lot of people. So thank you for putting this out there. Well, appreciate you having me. Thank you, Steve. You got it. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we've got another really important segment for you coming up on Your Carolina.